It was just after sunset when the old man stood quietly at the bus stop, clutching a worn-out cloth bag against his chest. People passed him without noticing the fear in his trembling hands. But when one stranger finally looked into his eyes, he saw something no one else had bothered to see. A silent cry for help, and that moment changed everything. Introducing the characters. The old man's name was Mr. Haroon, a retired school librarian in his late 70s. He lived alone in a tiny house at the edge of town, surviving on a small pension, and the memories of a life that had once been full of laughter. Every morning he woke up before dawn, brewed weak tea in his chipped cup, and walked slowly to the local park. He loved watching children play. Their innocent laughter reminded him of his students, and of his own daughter, whom he hadn't seen in years. People in the neighborhood knew him only as that quiet, old man who minds his own business. But there was one person who always noticed him. Sarah, a compassionate young woman who passed the park on her way to work every morning. Some days she would smile at him. Some days she'd bring him fresh bread from the bakery nearby. And he'd always respond with a gentle nod, whispering, "May God bless you, child." But neither of them knew that their simple morning greetings were about to turn into something far bigger, the struggle and misunderstanding. One cold afternoon, Mr. Haroon decided to visit the bank to withdraw a small amount from his savings. The pension money had not arrived that month, and he had only a few coins left at home. He walked in slowly and waited patiently in line. But something felt wrong. People seemed uneasy around him, glancing at the old cloth bag he carried. When he finally reached the counter, the young teller looked up and sighed sharply. "Sir, you withdrew money 2 days ago." "There's nothing here today." The old man frowned in confusion. "No, I haven't been here in weeks." "Are you sure?" The teller shrugged. "That's what the system says. Please step aside." Embarrassed and unsure, Mr. Haroon stepped back. His hands began to shake. He could feel people staring, murmuring, judging. He whispered to himself, "But I never came here." He walked out slowly, feeling smaller with every step. Someone had taken his money, but he had no proof. And even worse, no one believed him. Hours later, as the sky turned dark and the temperature dropped, Mr. Haroon stood at the empty bus stop. His cloth bag hung loosely from his hand. Inside was nothing but a few old photos, and the last bit of hope he still carried. Cars rushed past. People hurried home, but no one saw him, until Sarah came running down the sidewalk, holding an umbrella over her head. "Uncle, what are you doing here at this time?" she asked softly. He looked up, his eyes tired. "I'm just waiting. I'm not sure for what." She stepped closer. "Please tell me what happened." And for the first time in years, the old man opened his heart to someone. He told her about the bank, the missing money, the confusion, and the embarrassment. Sarah listened quietly, her eyes filling with worry. "Uncle," she said gently, "I believe you, and we're going to figure this out." It was the first time anyone had said those words to him in a long, long time. The next morning, Sarah took the old man back to the bank. She spoke firmly to the manager. "Sir, please check the security camera footage from the day my uncle's money was withdrawn." The manager sighed. "We don't usually show footage to the public." But Sarah didn't step back. She simply said, "Then call the police, because this man's pension was stolen and he deserves justice." The room fell silent. After a long minute, the manager nodded reluctantly and walked them to the small security room. They watched the footage together. The screen flickered. A date appeared in the corner. And then, there he was. Not Mr. Haroon, but a young man wearing a cap, walking confidently to the counter with forged documents. He signed using Mr. Haroon's name. The teller handed over the money without question. Sarah gasped softly. "Uncle, that's him." Mr. Haroon lowered his head. It hurt him deeply. Not just that his money was stolen, but that the world had been so quick to assume he was mistaken. The manager rubbed his forehead. "This is serious. I'll file an official report." But before he could, Sarah stepped forward. "No," she said firmly. "You will not only file a report, you will apologize to this man for doubting him." The silence grew heavy. The manager swallowed hard and turned to the old man. I am truly sorry, sir. We should have treated you with more respect." Mr. Haroon blinked, surprised. No one had apologized to him like that in years. Within days, the police identified the thief. He was a part-time volunteer from a community group, someone the old man had once helped by giving him books from the library. The betrayal cut deep, but the justice felt real. When the police officer handed the recovered money to Mr. Haroon, he said, "You were right the whole time, sir. I'm sorry this happened to you." The old man nodded slowly. "It's all right. All I ever wanted was the truth." But the biggest change happened afterward. People in the neighborhood, who once walked past him with indifference, now greeted him warmly. Strangers brought him fruit, blankets, even fresh meals. And Sarah, she visited him every evening after work, helping him with groceries, bills, and sometimes just sitting with him over tea. One day, Mr. Haroon smiled at her and said, "You didn't just help me, child. You reminded me that kindness still exists in this world." She reached out and held his hand gently. "And you reminded me," she said softly, "that we must never ignore someone who needs us." Weeks later, on a bright Sunday morning, a small group gathered in the park. Children were running. Birds were singing. And in the center stood Mr. Haroon with a brand new walking stick, gifted by the community. People clapped as Sarah helped him cut a small ribbon tied around a bench. A plaque on it read, "In honor of Mr. Haroon, who taught us that truth may bend, but it never breaks." The old man wiped a tear from his eye. He never expected recognition. All he ever wanted was dignity. He sat on the new bench as children gathered around him with curious smiles. "Uncle, tell us a story," one boy shouted. He chuckled softly. "My children," he said, "I have a lifetime of stories, and each one has a lesson." Sarah stood behind him, smiling warmly. The world had finally seen the old man for who he truly was. Not forgotten, not weak, not invisible, but a man with a heart full of wisdom and a life full of truth. And justice had finally been served. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can change someone's world.